right, welcome to Saturday Night Protection Live. This is your host, Christopher Gelson with Protect Your Children Incorporated. ProtectYourChildren.org is the website, ProtectYourChildren.org. Let me know out there how the sound is. Sounds loud and clear on our side, but you never know when it goes out over the waves just how it's coming across. So let us know in the chat, please, how it sounds to you. Are we good? We too loud? We too low? Can you hear it good? But we appreciate letting us know about that. Tonight we have part three. Part three. Yes, if you missed part one, part two, you can catch them on the podcast on our website, protectyourchildren.org. Thank you, Audrey. She said sound is good. You can go to our website, protectyourchildren.org, click on the live shows, and you can catch part one and part two. Also on our Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, X. It's everywhere. That's right. We are everywhere trying to spread education and awareness on how to protect kids from evil predators, because these pervs are everywhere. And when we say everywhere, we're not just trying to scare you. We're saying they're everywhere. We've been doing this show now a couple of years. And let me tell you, if it's not the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts, if it's not the Catholic Church, if it's not the Baptist Church, if it's not the after-school clubs, if it's not the schools, if it's not the neighborhood, if it's not in the family. Listen, there have been reports of predators targeting kids everywhere. So we need to get education and awareness out to as many people as we can. That's why we ask that you would share this live stream. You just copy, paste on your social media. Tell people, hey, join in and listen. Because if we're just speaking to the choir, we're not doing much, right? So we want to reach the people that are uninformed so that kids can be protected. So please share the stream. Even after the podcast is available tonight, you can share that. You can share the podcast. Come back tomorrow, click share, right? Let's get it out there to as many people as we possibly can. And we appreciate that in advance, because we got to work together as a team. We have to be a team, because these kids are falling prey to these predators. And let me tell you that 99% of the time, it could have been prevented. This is the truth. 99% of the time. That 1% is that random stranger who comes out of nowhere and starts touching a kid. But 99% of these cases, it's a teacher, it's an aunt, it's an uncle, it's a coach. It's somebody that the family and the child already knows. It's true. Right? So that means there are warning signs that could have been spotted to prevent abuse from happening in the first place. But you have to be educated and aware and able to stop this in advance. So please share the stream. Let me share with you, as a matter of fact, speaking of sharing, our website, protectyourchildren.org, which just mentioned. If you go to our front page, home page right there, and scroll down, you will see that we are educating and we are raising awareness on how to protect kids. You can click right here, listen to our weekly live show podcast. There it is, right there. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do that as well. We would appreciate that, because then you stay informed and, hey, we get to know that we're reaching somebody out there, okay? You can find all our links to our Facebook group, our Facebook page, our X or Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, Threads. Oh, we're going to talk about Threads tonight. Let me just tell you, Threads is bad. We did a live show about Threads a while back, and Threads is a haven for predators. I am telling you, it is bad. So you can visit our website, protectyourchildren.org, and there's a whole lot of great stuff on there. We have an in-depth protection packet, which part 3 will be teaching from that packet tonight. We have updates on Zachary Bernhardt, the missing child that we've been working that case for a few years now. Live show, as I said, preventing kidnapping. We have topical podcasts. We have child protection videos, how to protect your kids online, and so on and so forth. So much great information on our website, protectyourchildren.org. So please check that out today. And we thank you in advance for that. All right. So tonight, when we get to part 3, we're going to be talking about the tricks, the traps, and the threats that predators use to trap kids in abusive situations. Okay. So there are tricks and traps and threats that get kids into abusive situations. And these predators will tell lies. They'll do threats. They'll trick these children. and they will get them to stay in an abusive situation. Now, that sounds crazy, right? Because what child would want to stay in an abusive situation? Excuse me, still getting over a little cough here. But you would be surprised how many kids are groomed and manipulated and become emotionally attached to their predators. And they are in relationships with these people for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. No joke. It's crazy, but it happens. And a lot of times it's because these kids are being threatened, or they've been manipulated, they've been lied to, and they're believing a whole bunch of lies, right? And they're continuing to think that what's happening is okay, and it's not. So yeah, we're going to look into that tonight. Tricks, I can speak. Tricks, traps, and threats. Say that 3 times fast. Tricks, traps, and threats tonight. All right, cool. So it shows you the website. Let's get on to our hero segment for tonight. Every week we do a hero segment to highlight awesome kids. Why, do you ask? Do we do that? Because kids are awesome, right? Kids are funny. They're usually selfless. They want to help others. They genuinely care. They are generally trusting, which could be a problem, because when kids are too easily trusting, predators will take advantage of that. So you got to teach your kids, hey, you want to be nice, that's fine, but be careful with strangers. Be careful with people, even in your own circle. Tell your kids, like, hey, they need to be aware of what's going on. Know the warning signs, okay, which we're going to go over some tonight. It's very important. It's very important to know those things. So, all right. Our hero segment tonight is really awesome. These are hero kids that are helping others. This is a hero kid who is helping other kids because of what he went through. And this is why we highlight this, because we want kids to be able to pursue their dreams. We want them to be able to pursue their goals, live the happy life that they can have without predators getting a hold of their minds and their bodies, right? And we do this to highlight these kids and how awesome they are, and to remind people, you want kids to stay this good? You want kids to be able to continue to do the great things that they can do? If your answer is yes, then you need to protect them. You need to be educated, informed, and aware of all of the traps and the tricks and the threats that predators are using to get to our kids. And believe me, they are getting to our kids. They really are. And parents need to wake up. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, other caring people, teachers that are not abusing kids, they need to wake up and see what's going on, because our kids are being trapped all the time. So let's get into our hero segment, and we'll come back right after that, and we'll jump into some information about Facebook threads, which is just going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. So we'll be right back. 2 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Check this out.
Helping people.
Tyree Pryor has made helping people a habit.
Favorite hobby is to camp, and you want to be a police officer.
The 14-year-old volunteers every week at local schools, talking with 4th and 5th graders about following their dreams.
Is there any ways that he could pursue of being a police officer?
It was an officer who snapped this picture of Tyree, caught in the act of kindness.
It looked like she needed help.
A woman was struggling to get to her car in the pouring rain, so Tyree ran across the Hy-Vee parking lot, took off his own jacket, and shielded the 93-year-old from the rain all the way to her car.
I was raised to do right towards anybody. It don't matter what race or anything.
It just filled my heart. I was just happy.
Mom Ebony Finley says it's a common occurrence.
Sometimes you can't find, what was you doing? Oh, I went and helped so-and-so cut the grass, or I went over here and did this. And, he's always offering to help someone with their groceries.
It makes us have to look back at ourselves and say, what can we do? How can we make a difference? Who can we help?
During the lesson, they showed Fox 4's original story on the officer trying to find Tyree.
And he didn't do that act of kindness because he wanted any kind of attention or anything like that.
But taking care of that woman and her groceries scored him a free meal.
Holt wants to reward him with dinner.
Officer Holt made good on his promise and took Tyree and his mom out to dinner at Red Lobster.
He said, buy anything you want. I'm like, for real? He said, yeah.
Finley says they've built a special bond and will continue to stay in touch.
What he felt that day and that compassion he had was wholeheartedly. So I appreciate him.
She appreciates Tyree too, soaking up life lessons like a sponge and encouraging others to do the same.
It don't matter who it is, just do what you know is correct.
Just do what you know is correct. That is awesome. See, and kids like Tyree, man, there's tons of them out there. And they are just helping people, and their hearts are good. They've been raised right. But once a predator gets a hold of their lives and gets in there and starts screwing them up, it can knock them way off track. And we want to be reminded of how great kids are and how precious they are and how important it is to protect them from these evil scum, we'll just say that are out there looking to trap our kids. So awesome for Tyree. We're so proud of him and all these other heroes that we have out there that we showcase every week about how awesome they really are. And we're just makes us so proud to hear about what's happening. So, all right, Facebook threads. My gosh, our heads are going to explode over here at Protect Your Children Inc. because threads is getting, well, I'm going to say it's getting worse, but threads is really horrible. And parents will tell you right now, here's a warning. If you are randomly going through your kids' phones, which you should be doing, if your kids have Facebook threads, you need to get it off of there right now. Well, okay, listen to the show first, but then get it off of their phone, okay? Because Facebook threads is a haven for predators, and there are tons of kids on there. Some of these profiles are not actually kids, by the way. They are predators who have taken videos and or pictures from other kids' profiles, and they're setting them up as their own, okay? And they're pretending to be kids, and they're saying, hey, I'm going to be in Tampa next week. I'm moving there. How many of you are from Tampa? And of course, stupidly, like people do, they start commenting, I'm from Tampa, I'm from Tampa, I'm from Tampa. And what's happening then is you got predators who now are getting in touch with kids that are in Tampa, and the predator now knows where they can connect with these children. It is insane, and it is happening all over the place on Facebook threads. And I want to show you a picture right now that's just, I mean, you don't believe me? Check this craziness out, all right? Look at this. Look at this. You see this? All right. Let me, I'm telling you something. This is, we came across this a few days ago. Of course, we blacked out some of the face, but we need to show you this. All right. This was a Facebook threads post. Hi, my name is Jaden. He's a male. He's a boy. He's 12 years old, which, by the way, threads apparently you have to be 13. So I guess their algorithm's not working too well. He's from Columbus, Ohio. He's a soccer player, and he says, I can get you anything you want. Looking for a girlfriend / someone to talk to. Okay. Is this really a child? Well, we don't know. You know, it could be a PDF file who's got pictures of a child on there to try to get other kids to contact them. Right? Look at these pictures below. I mean, are you kidding me right now? This is on threads. This is all over Facebook threads. All over the place. There are pedos on threads. And the sad thing is there are some kids that are actually kids that are on there looking for this kind of attention, and they are going to get nothing but trouble. So parents, guardians, aunts, uncles, good people out there, this is the kind of crap that is on Facebook threads, and it's all over the place. So please check your kids' devices. Make sure they're not on Facebook threads because they are going to be tricked by people, and it is quite a dangerous place. All right. So please get them off Facebook threads. All right. It is absolutely nuts, but this is what's happening. It's stuff like this all the time, you know? And again, it's kind of like, you know, these kids. All right. So you tell them not to talk to adults, not talk to strangers. Right. So if a 12-year-old boy or a 12-year-old girl is on Facebook threads, right, and they're told not to talk to strangers, not talk to adults. Well, you know what they don't see as a stranger? Another 12 or 13-year-old. Like they think that's safe. Oh, it's another kid. Oh, it's someone my age. Oh, look at that. They live close to me. I can make a new friend. When the reality is that they do not know who these people truly are. They don't know who's behind that profile. We're going to bring you a story here from the FBI is going to issue a warning about an Amber Alert that happened earlier this week. Now, thank God the girl was found the next day. But let me tell you, how do you think she got connected to these two people that kidnapped her? because she was online talking with them for quite a long time and nobody knew. No parents were checking her phone. They were not checking her messages. And the FBI is going to give a warning about that because parents are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And because of that, these kids are in danger. Bottom line. Bottom line. That is what's happening. So we have this Facebook Threads. This is what's happening. I want to show it to you one more time. All right. This is the kind of crap that's being posted on Facebook Threads. Is this really a child? Nobody knows. It could be a child. And if it is a child, oh, what do you mean? There's a picture right there. Really? That could be a picture of any boy from anywhere posted on a fake profile made to look like a child in order to get other kids to contact them so that these pedos can have more targets. This is what's happening. And your kids need to know this. Just because it's somebody that seems to be their age doesn't mean they really are. But this is the stuff that's being posted on Facebook Threads. Unbelievable. Absolutely crazy out there. Short Bus 12, good to see you. It's my meth day, she says. Congratulations to you, Short Bus. Awesome, awesome. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you, it's a scary place. Yeah, Short Bus says, important info. Internet can be for sure scary. Yeah, Threads is the worst. I'm telling you, Facebook Thread. It's almost like no one's looking at Threads. Like, there has been such an increase in the amount of pedos on Threads and the amount of supposed kids that are posting on Threads. Like, it's getting worse. It's getting more and more every single day. And it's like no one's paying attention to it, right? It's kind of like the way Omegle was. Remember the website Omegle, right? It said right on the front page, talk to strangers, you know, and they promoted it among kids at the schools. And they had no age verification, no ID verification, nothing. And before anybody knew it, they were Omegle was like loaded with kids and loaded with predators. And eventually they got sued. They got shut down. The Department of Justice, I believe, actually shut them down because of the amount of PDF files that were on that site. But you know what? Nobody was looking. It was like, oh, you know, Omegle, oh, yeah, talk to a stranger. Well, are you kidding me? If you saw that on your child's phone, you'd be like, it's a site deliberately there to have your kids talk to strangers? I mean, they weren't even hiding it. It's crazy. And now Facebook Threads, like no one's paying attention. Facebook Threads is all about, hey, you know, can I find some fellow Christian believers? Hey, can I find some fellow Muslims? Hey, can I find some friends in Tampa? Let me know where you live. And people are telling people where they live. What are you doing? And these kids are just, oh, look at that. It's a 12-year-old boy. Oh, I want to be friends with this 12-year-old boy. You know, girl's looking for it. And she'll say, oh, look, oh, this boy's cute. Look, oh, he's cute. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, he's only 12. He's from Columbus, Ohio. And the girl's thinking, hey, wait a minute. I'm not far from Columbus. I'd like to meet him. He looks awful cute. And so the girl sends Jaden over here, quote unquote, Jaden, a message. And they start chatting it up. And the potential PDF file that's behind this profile is talking to this girl. She thinks she's talking to a 12-year-old boy, and he's gaining all this information about her. And she's probably giving it to him because she thinks it's a 12-year-old boy. It's innocent. But maybe it's not a 12-year-old boy. Maybe it's a fake profile. See, kids need to know this because this is what's happening. It is absolutely nuts. All right. I want to bring you something here. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. This was off Instagram, and this was crazy, okay? Talk about out in the open. How about a coordinated attack by two vehicles with people to try to kidnap a young boy out in front of his home? Are these people getting desperate, or are they just feeling that emboldened where they don't think, hey, you know, I'll get caught. I can just do this. Man, I'll tell you something. Check this out. And listen to the trick. This is what predators do. They say things to kids that they think is going to get them interested and think that will fool them. Now, fortunately, this kid, he was raised right by his parents, and you're going to see his response to the predator when predator literally started running after this kid to try to grab him. This is freaking insane. Oh my gosh. All right, let's check this out.
It's a scary sight. Youngsters fleeing after they say a motorist tried to lure them into his SUV. The suspect actually got out of the car and chased one of the boys.
He just tried to abduct us!
Their screams alerted mom, Jenna Skolnick. The quick-thinking mom was able to snap a photo of the suspect's license plate. She also got an image of the guy who turned around and jumped back into the passenger seat.
I just thought to myself, if this isn't a joke and if they have him, I need their license plate to be able to find them.
There were at least 2 men in the SUV. Dallas police say a second vehicle, this dark pickup truck, may have also been involved. The 2 vehicles had pulled up next to each other before the white SUV backed up closer to the children.
He came up my phone, asked me to come in. Someone trying to kidnap Jake!
What did he say to try to lure you to his car?
He said, like, there's a football player in the back of the car. Go to the back and talk to him. I said, hell no, I don't talk to strangers, and I ran away. Then he got out of the car and started chasing me.
Wow. He said, hell no, I'm not talking to strangers. Oh my gosh, that's a smart kid. I just got a message from somebody saying that they're trying to click into the live show and they're not able to access it. Let me reply to them real quick. Let's see. Other people are in. Click refresh. There we go. Hopefully that'll work. So how awesome is that kid though? He says, "No, I'm not talking to strangers. I don't think so." And parents obviously raised them right and warned these kids about tricky people. But how do you like that? A coordinated. I mean, that other vehicle pulls right up. It's almost like, hey, did you get the kid? Did you get the kid? You know? And then he told him, hey, there's a football player in the back seat that you can talk to. You want to meet this football player? How cool is that? And the kid's like, no, I'm not talking to strangers. I mean, this is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. But this is what they're doing. Let me show it to you one more time. Just check this out. This is crazy. Pay attention to how, oh my God, these guys are just absolutely emboldened. They think they can just come up and grab kids with witnesses. But this is what's happening. Man, check this out.
It's a scary sight. Youngsters fleeing after they say a motorist tried to lure them into his SUV. The suspect actually got out of the car and chased one of the boys.
He just tried to abduct us!
Their screams alerted mom, Jenna Skolnick. The quick-thinking mom was able to snap a photo of the suspect's license plate. She also got an image of the guy who turned around and jumped back into the passenger seat.
I just thought to myself, if this isn't a joke and if they have him, I need their license plate to be able to find them.
There were at least 2 men in the SUV. Dallas police say a second vehicle, this dark pickup truck, may have also been involved. The 2 vehicles had pulled up next to each other before the white SUV backed up closer to the children.
He came up my phone, asked me to come in. Someone trying to kidnap Jake!
What did he say to try to lure you to his car?
He said, like, there's a football player in the back of the car. Go to the back and talk to him. I said, hell no, I don't talk to strangers, and I ran away.
Way to
And then
go,
he got
kid.
out of the car and started chasing me.
Way to go. Smart kid. But this is exactly what's happening right now, okay? These people are just brazen. I mean, that is crazy to think about and scary. If he had grabbed that child, he may have never been seen again. So thank God that he is okay and he was smart and his parents taught these kids about tricky people. They taught these kids about tricky people because the reality is that these guys, they don't seem to care anymore. They see a target and they want to just grab kids and go do what they want with them. It is absolutely insane what they're doing today. But this is the world we live in, people. This is the world we live in. So, oh, man, I'll tell you what. Let's see. Just checking the comments here. Okay, nothing new. We got Rising on Eagle's Wings in the chat. We got Audrey AU from Australia. Pretty awesome. Down under. And Short Bus 12 is here. Glad that you are here as well. I want to remind you, you can visit our website, protectyourchildren.org. This is Saturday Night Protection Live with your host, Christopher Gelson, the director and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated. And we are here to educate and raise awareness on the epidemic of child predators that is all over the place online and all over the place in the communities. Kids need to be taught and educated and aware because they are falling into traps more than you want to believe, but it's really happening out there. So, all right, let's jump into this warning from the FBI. Now, a little backstory on this. There was an Amber Alert issued on Wednesday for a girl in North Carolina. And, Amber Alerts is a fickle thing because probably 98% of the Amber Alerts that get issued are canceled within like a couple of hours, which, listen, we wish that the Amber Alerts had that kind of success rate. But if you look it up, they've got like a 1 to 3% success rate, okay, which is still good. But what's happening is you get an Amber Alert for everything that pops up. People start sharing it, they're retweeting it, they're praying, and they're doing all this stuff. And and then a couple hours later, canceled. Child's fine. Child wasn't really missing, and it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf syndrome, and what's happening is these Amber Alerts are being issued so quick without any kind of coordination. I mean, it's really up to the local law enforcement of each state to kind of decide to issue an Amber Alert. So anytime we see these Amber Alerts, we try to like share what we can, we retweet it and stuff. Well, on Wednesday, this girl from North Carolina was kidnapped by 2 men. They had the suspect descriptions and all that stuff. And then a coordinated effort took place to find her. And thank God they did. On Thursday morning, they located this girl and apparently she was safe. But the FBI came out and they said, we have a warning for parents because this girl should have never been talking to these people in the first place. And she would have never been kidnapped. Okay. Honestly, if the parents were paying attention, okay, and we're not trying to be hard on parents here, but at the same time, like, come on now, you've got a young girl who's talking online to these predators, right? And she may not realize they're predators. She probably thinks there's someone her age, like we talked about a few minutes ago. And she's just having conversations and she's talking to them for months and nobody's paying attention. The parents were not checking her phone. They were not checking her devices. And the next thing you know, she wants to go meet these people in real life because she's been convinced by them that they are safe. And what do? They kidnap the girl. Amber Alert gets issued on Wednesday. Thursday morning, thank God they found her and she's safe. But listen to this warning from the FBI when they did a press conference on this. Listen, this is exactly what we've been saying forever. And maybe parents out there that are listening for the first time, Guardians, you hear this from an FBI agent. I don't know, maybe it holds more water than just, me over here behind this microphone, boop, 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 So anyway, let's check this out. This is very, very, very important. It's about a minute and a half. So let's check it out.
Yeah. So let me speak generally again. I don't want to speak specifically to this investigation, but generally to all the parents out there, to all the children out there. It is important for parents to be engaged in a meaningful way with their children and how their children are interacting on the internet.
Thank you.
That can look like a number of different things. That can be having conversations with your children about who they're talking with online. It could be running through scenarios about the types of interactions they may find in the online space. It's worth noting our children are extremely technically savvy, oftentimes maybe more so than we are. What they lack is the world experience and the decision-making skills to understand consequences of these sorts of engagements. They lack the ability to understand the reality that predators are out there online attempting to victimize them. So I think for parents, it's all about the meaningful engagement. Again, that needs to be having conversations with your children. It needs to potentially be looking at the devices with your children, having access to their accounts, periodically conducting spot checks, reviewing who they're engaged with, who they're talking with. But also it's worth noting that it's not just about your children. Your children may be aware of other children in the school who are potentially at risk. Encouraging children to have conversation with their parents about that if they're aware of another child, a peer who's at risk, is extremely important to stop this sort of activity from getting any worse. Again, it's about engagement from the parents with the children.
Now, you see, he was very sweet about it. We're over here going, yo, parents, wake the heck up. Why are you allowing your children to be on social media and not monitoring them? Why are you not checking their messages? Why are you not checking their friends list? Why are you letting them upload videos and pictures of themselves dancing sexually so that predators are attracted to them? Why are you letting this happen? There is absolutely no excuse for this. Parents, we know you love your kids, but let me tell you what, part of loving them is keeping them safe. And of course you want your kids to be safe. But now that you know the dangers, and you know, it's getting kind of, God, I hate to use the word trendy, but a lot of these predator videos are coming up now on all different social media platforms. There's people that are reporting on this all the time. There's no way that parents are just clueless about the dangers of online predators. There's no way. And if they are, then they're just totally under a rock somewhere. I mean, this is being talked about all over the place. Here we got the FBI having to come out and say to parents, hey, monitor what your kids are doing. Randomly check their phones, check their messages, see who they're talking to. Because this young girl was taken by two guys that she went to go meet. And unfortunately, this happens because there are kids out there with holes in their heart, you know what I'm saying, with emotional voids in their life, maybe from divorce or parents or loss of a parent, something, right? And they're looking for attention. And predators know how to spot this. They know how to identify the kids that are hungry for attention, and they start playing right into those emotions. I'll take care of you. I'll love you. I'll be different than your parents. I'll let you do whatever you want because you're old enough and you're mature enough, and they should let you do that. Tell the kids everything they want to hear. Right? Sending them fake pictures, fake videos to make them think it's somebody younger. Of course, they pull these pictures and videos offline of other people's kids because other parents are posting these pictures and videos of their kids. It's like the predators are using what the parents are letting their kids do, and they're using that against other victims. I mean, think about it. This is crazy. But this is the world of social media. This is the world of the internet. And this young girl, thank God she was found. But again, the FBI agent had to come out and say, look, parents, will you pay attention to what your kids are doing? Because I bet you what he really wanted to say is, parents, what the heck is wrong with you? This girl was talking to predators for months and you had no idea. That's how I would have said it. But he was being very professional about it. So there's a warning from the FBI. Parents, you need to be nosy. You need to monitor what your kids are doing. If you're going to allow them to be on social media, you have to pay attention. You got to go through their phone. You've got to do it. You've got to go through their devices. Man, it's crazy. It's kind of quiet in the chat out there. Everybody okay? Everybody okay in the chat? Audrey, Short Bus, Rising, everybody? It's kind of quiet out there. But yeah, this is absolutely nuts. But this is what we're dealing with today. It's crazy. All right, let's move on to our teaching portion tonight. This is going to be part 3 of how to protect your kids from sexual predators. Keep your kids safe online and offline. Last week was part 2. The week before that was part 1. And those are available for podcast listen on our website, protectyourchildren.org, and also on our social media. You can find links to the social media on our website, homepage, protectyourchildren.org. Thank you. Thank you in advance for listening and getting educated and and sharing the information with people who you know need to hear it. So thank you for that. All right, let's jump in. Tonight we're looking at, as I mentioned before, the most common tricks, threats, and lies used by child abusers and M's. As you know, we call them M's because if you say that word on YouTube, well, they'll censor you. Unless it's in a video of somebody else, apparently. Like if it's a news broadcast, it's okay. But if I say it, they'll censor it. So the most common tricks, threats, and lies used by child abusers or M's to trap kids into starting and staying in the abuse. Yep. listen, they have a playbook, ladies and gentlemen. They have a playbook, and they use this playbook. Remember a couple weeks ago, we shared the story about the father. Yes, he was a father of many kids, 2 or 3. The father who was busted with like 20,000 images of child stuff, okay, on his computer. And they also found a PDF file. Check this out, a PDF file of a PDF file handbook. There you go. That's how we have to say it, because we can't say the P word. But yeah, they found a handbook that was teaching him how to avoid parents, how to trap kids. Man, they're coordinating out there. These predators, these sickos are coordinating and educating each other on, hey, look, this is how you can avoid parents. This is how you can build trust with a parent. This is how you can trick a child. This is where you can go to meet a child. Listen, they're working hard in their evil ways. And we've got to be like steps ahead of them. That's why we do this show, Saturday Night Protection Live. We are trying to educate you on what is happening. Because, you know, a lot of times these abusers, these traffickers, these predators, they're using the same tactics. It's not like there's anything real new that they're coming up with. I mean, the internet's new, but we've been covering that like ad nauseum. So let's jump into it. This is section 6 of the protection packet. The whole packet is available for viewing, reading, downloading, printing, sharing on our website, protectyourchildren.org. In-depth protection packet. So are we ready to jump in out there? Let's do this. Most abusers are sadly convinced that they are not doing a child any harm. Now, we are not talking about the scum out there that are like grabbing kids and kidnapping them and torturing them. We're talking about the manipulating, statutory RAPE type abusers that are grooming and manipulating kids. A lot of these abusers actually think they're not hurting a child. All right. We talked to a drug dealer one time. Now, this was going back a whole bunch of years. There's a drug dealer who was in a circle of a friend. I'll put it that way, right? And he was asked, why do you deal drugs, man, when you know that it's going to get into the hands of kids? Why do you deal drugs when you know it's against the law? Is it just the money? Well, he said the money's part of it. But you know also what he said? He's making people feel good. People come to him and say, hey, man, I'm just having a rough time right now. I just need to get a little something. And he gets it for him. And he feels like he's helping people by giving them drugs. Well, these abusers, a lot of abusers, they're thinking the same exact way. Well, I'm not helping the child, hurting the child. I'm helping the child. Are you kidding me? So let's read on. It says the abuser actually believes that he or she is providing a feel-good service to a child in emotional need. They also believe that this makes them worthy because they're doing something nice. Are you kidding me right now? But this is what they tell themselves. And even though God, the law, and basic morals say it's wrong, abusers have convinced themselves that everyone else is wrong and that they just don't understand that that it's actually okay. Okay? They'll hide what they are doing. They sometimes become friends with the parents or whoever they need to earn the trust from the child. Abusers also feel the need to control their own past and present environment. And you've always heard that it's always about control. It is crazy. All right. First thing we got to look out for is blackmail. Okay. Now, these aren't in any kind of particular order. Okay. We're just going to list them here. This tactic is when a child, young or teenage, is caught by a M or a predator doing something criminal or even something that the child would get into trouble for by their parents. So if there's a M or a predator watching and looking for a child to harm, this can come into play very quickly. They will let the child know that they were seen doing what they did. And if they don't do sexual stuff with them, then the abuser will tell the parents or call the police, which is ever suitable, about what the child did. See this? And parents, you got to make sure that your child knows that, quote unquote, allowing themselves, we're putting that in quotes, to be abused is more dangerous and damaging to them than whatever it is that they may have done wrong. So you see, this is what happens. We run into this situation at schools. Like if you have a teacher, right, and they know a little about the child's home life and they know that the parents are very strict on that child and that the child will get in trouble for bad grades or for getting in trouble, and you have a predator teacher, you know what they say? They tell a child, hey, Yeah, sure. I won't tell your mom. I won't report this grade. I'll even change this grade for you, but you got to do this. It's crazy, right? And they say, well, why didn't the child just would go and tell somebody right away? Well, unfortunately, what happens? Who are they going to believe, the teacher or the child? So it's easier for kids to get trapped, and it's a form of blackmail that predators use to get kids into abusive situations. Second one, the potential child abuser may not seem like a child M at first. They may be really nice to you and even to your mom and dad. This is talking to the kids, even though there are many nice adults that do not want to harm you, right? There's adults out there that don't want to harm kids. There are some that do. And we're telling the children, like, if your parents know a person and let you spend time with them, and that person is not talking to you in a sexual way or trying to touch you in a sexual way or trying to get you to look at or read anything sexual, then most likely they're okay. But again, they're approved by your parents. They know you're spending time with them. There's no reason a child should be spending time with an adult or communicating with an adult or have a phone number from an adult without the parents' permission. That is just a red flag right there. In fact, we have a situation that we came across just, actually it was on Wednesday, where one of the children of the families that we've been helping out, the child put a person's number in their phone, and we know that it's an adult person, and we'd like to know why. Why did an adult say, hey, give me your number? And the child messaged the adult, hey, it's so-and-so. Wait a minute. Well, what's going on? Now, it's interesting because there's an environment that's kind of monitored there at where we believe this took place. And we didn't say nothing to the child right now because we're kind of waiting to see if there's any kind of a conversation that develops from this. But why did the child have this adult's number in their phone when the adult should have came to the parent and said, I'd like to be speaking with your child, right? So there's a problem there. You can go through your child's contacts and be like, who the heck is this? Who's that? Wait, who's Mr. So-and-so? Why do you have Mrs. So-and-so's number in your phone? Why are they communicating with adults outside of your supervision, parents? That's a very good question. But this is happening. Check chat real quick. Let's see. Drago Mations. What a great name. What a great name. Welcome to the chat. Jesse, welcome to the chat. Jeepers Meepers. Awesome. Loving the screen names, guys. Welcome to the chat. Glad that you tuned in. Right now, we're going through part 3 of how to keep your kids safe, and we're looking at some tricks, threats, lies that predators and abusers use to get at kids. Now, this trick here, the potential abuser will sometimes become friends with the parents of the child that they wish to help. We put that in quotes because remember, the first thing, there's a lot of abusers out there who actually think that they're helping a child. They're not hurting the child. They're making them feel good. They're providing an emotional escape for the child. They're being their friend. This is the sick, twisted thinking that abusers have. And they will usually try to become friends with parents and build that trust so that eventually they can spend time alone with that child. So they may do this through a random act of kindness or try to get involved with a single parent. Yeah, single moms are targeted by predators. They will earn trust with the hope of eventually spending time alone with the child. Single moms out there looking for new husbands, new boyfriends. As soon as you mention that you have a child, I hope you're doing a background check on the person. I hope that you're going over all these warnings with your kids before they start spending time with someone like that. Now, who wants to think that the person that they just met who seems really nice could be a harmful person? Well, hey, this is the reality of life. Okay? People aren't always who they seem to be. Amen? Can we get an amen out there, right? They're not always who they seem to be. Yeah, sometimes they are. Sometimes they don't have a bone in their body that would ever hurt a child. But there are ones that do. Let's move on. Now, this trick, how you like this, right? We've heard of this. The potential abuser will offer something free to his potential victim. I'll say he or her potential victim. Hello with the teachers. 160 of them this year already have been arrested for illegal acts with their children's. Oh my gosh, 160 already this school year. So he or her potential victim. This is something that the child would like and would make the child look and feel popular so that they will not refuse. The abuser may even offer money. They will claim it's just free with no strings attached, just being a nice person. Now, as a parent, you got to keep your eyes open. Your child starts popping up with new clothes or jewelry or music or money, anything that you didn't buy them. You better find out who the heck is giving your child free stuff and why. Demand to meet the person to make sure everything is okay with the free stuff. In a nice way, it would be a good idea to ask them, hey, this is great, but why are you giving stuff to my child? Nobody should be giving your child stuff without talking to you first. But this happens. There was a case not too long ago where the mother had noticed that her daughter, who had been spending a lot of time online, all of a sudden got like this special edition Zelda game, gold edition Legend of Zelda game. And the mom was like, where did you get that from? You don't have any money. She didn't want to say where she got it from. So smart mom, you know what she does? Detective mode, mama bear mode, grabs the child's phone, starts going through it, and found out that she'd been talking to an adult man for quite some time, and he was sending her gifts. And she called the police promptly after that. Way to go, mom. Way to go. It's unbelievable. All right. How about some lies told by abusers and M's? Emsters. There we go. We're going to start calling them Emsters. I like it. We got PDF file for the P word, and we'll start calling those people Emsters. That can't be blocked on YouTube, right? Okay. Lies told by abusers and Emsters. Parents, your kids need to know this. Number one, if you tell someone, then they won't believe you. They won't believe you. And you can tell your kids, people who truly know you will be able to know you're telling the truth. Now, even if you, the child, have had a history of lying, or police or parents and the people who really know you, the police, try that again. Police, parents, and the people who really know you will be able to tell if it's the truth that you're speaking. Okay. But this happens all the time. We talked about this. Okay. But this is what happens. Hey, no one's going to believe you. Right. This is what happened with the Catholic Church. Right. And that whole host of scum. No offense to regular Catholics out there. We're talking about the priests that were abusing kids. Okay. That's what they were doing. Hey, if you tell anybody, you ready for this? If you tell anybody, first of all, they won't believe you because I'm a priest and I'm respected. And also they were telling the kids, if they tell anybody, that God will be mad at them because they got a priest in trouble. Are you freaking kidding me? But young kids will believe this. So they say, if you tell someone, they will not believe you. Number two, if you tell someone, they will think you're gay or that you're perverted or something. Okay, this happens. This happens. Again, we're not talking about LGBT. We're not trying to offend anybody, but the reality is that there is a high number of the LGBTQ plus community who have been sexually abused as children. This is a stated fact, and they never told anybody because before these people came out of the closet, they were trying to keep it quiet. And if it came out that they were fooling around with someone of the same sex, then they were going to get made fun of. They were going to get mocked. They were going to be embarrassed. They're going to feel ashamed. And so these predators will say, hey, listen, people are going to think this way if you tell anybody. How are people going to think about you when I tell them that you did this a whole bunch of times with me? Now, again, you tell the kids that people who really know you, your true friends, they will know that it isn't true. So they don't have to believe that lie. Number three, if you tell anyone about this, you'll be in trouble because you let it happen. Oh my gosh. This, first of all, we'll say you tell them that they'll not be in trouble because anybody with a tiny mind will understand that you were tricked and fooled into sexual behavior. Kids need to know this. Listen, these are also reasons why kids don't tell anybody for a period of 3 to 5 years. That's a true stat. The average is about 3 to 5 years before a child will disclose, and a lot of young male children will never disclose. Okay? Because they feel ashamed. They feel guilty. They feel like it was their fault when it wasn't. But the predator will say, hey, you let this happen more than once. People are going to think that you wanted it. Do you want people to know that? You let it happen. It's your fault. That's a lie that predators tell these kids. Crazy. Absolutely nuts. All right. How about this? Oh, man. Remember this whole thing? If it feels good, how could it be wrong? Wasn't there a song about that? If it feels so good, how could it be wrong? Right? This is what the predators, the abusers will tell the kids. Hey, if it feels good, it's not a bad thing, right? Now, of course, the predators aren't telling the kids that, it's illegal, immoral, it's against God, against the law, and it'll mess them up emotionally. They're not telling them that part of it. They just say if it feels good, it can't be wrong, right? Right? I mean, come on. It's ridiculous, but that's a lie that they tell the kids. Number 5, if you tell anyone, then God will be mad at you, because why wouldn't he want you and me to feel something good? See, this is where they start twisting up the child's mind. Okay? They start twisting their mind. They're saying, first of all, it's love. Isn't God about love? Right? And doesn't this feel good? Oh, and by the way, parents out there, let me throw this in there. Let me interject with something here. You always tell your kids, if anybody hurts you, let me know. But how about if it's not physically hurting the child? Right? And we're not talking about the crazy kidnap, torture, rape kind of crap, okay? Oh, I just said the R word. Hope it doesn't get censored. What we're talking about is the manipulators, the groomers, the abusers, okay? And what happens is, if you tell a child, if somebody hurts you, you make sure you tell me. And they say, okay. But a young child is thinking, well, this doesn't hurt. This kind of feels kind of good. Now listen, this is what happens out there, especially when kids are young. They think it feels good, so they don't think there's anything wrong with it because mommy said to tell her if anybody hurt me. Well, this person's not hurting me. See that? So it's the words. So you got to couch that with like, yeah, if anybody hurts you, and by the way, it's, this way. They're touching you. You got to tell them the whole thing. Don't just give them that one little line, So number 5 was saying, yeah, God's going to be mad because he wants you to feel really good. And parents of faith out there, God states very clearly in like 18 different places in the Bible that any sex between an adult and a minor is wrong. And you can tell your children, God does want you to feel good in many legal and safe ways. And God also says stand against evil. So he would not want you to stop. He would want you to stop the behavior. But that's the God argument. This gets used by believers out there. And I hate to tell you, yeah, there's Christians out there that are hurting kids, and there's Muslims and there's Buddhists. Okay. Listen, just because they got a religion doesn't mean they're not fallible. They're not doing anything wrong. It can happen. Number 6, they tell the kids, if you tell your parents, they'll be mad at you. Make sure your kids know that you will not be mad at them. They will be mad at the one who hurt their child. And they will also understand that it's not your fault. Okay? Kids need to learn to know this, right? Because a lot of these lies are what keeps kids quiet. And the longer they stay quiet, the longer they stay in an abusive relationship, the more it messes them up. So you got to tell them these lies, okay? And these tricks, because this is what these predators do. You're getting into the head right now of these predators. Number 7, the abuser or the emster will try to use guilt to make you not get them in trouble. Well, you tell your kids, don't fall for it. They are guilty and they deserve whatever consequences God has for them because of their actions or the law. How could it be your fault that they made an evil choice? Come on now. Or that you are vulnerable and hurting and looking for a friend. It's usually what happens. These kids go out there, they're just looking for someone to talk to, someone to pay attention to them, and then this person takes advantage of them. But they'll try to guilt them into it. Tell your kids, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Let me check the chat. How's everybody doing out there? Short Bus, Audrey, Rising, Jeepers Meepers, Drago, Audrey from Australia. Whole bunch of people out there in the chat. Glad that you're here. Everybody's kind of quiet. Hope you're listening. taking notes, taking screenshots, or remembering to share this information with people. It's very important. There's a whole host of other people watching online. Thank you that you're here. We got a bunch on X right now, a bunch on YouTube, and a whole bunch on Rumble. Glad that you're here. This is Saturday Night Protection Live with your host, Christopher Gelson, the director and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated, protectyourchildren.org, protectyourchildren.org. Audrey's hanging out upside down, according to her emoji. Yes, she's upside down right now. Our minds go upside down when we're like thinking about how these predators talk to these kids, man. It's crazy. All right. Man, I say, so we put a note in here that parents, if a child is too scared to say something, you can bet it's because of one of these types of threats. Reassure them that you will take all precautions needed. We're going to zip through this last section as we try to get done on time tonight because we know that your time is very important to you. But of course, keeping kids safe is a little bit more important than whatever's going on at 9 p.m. on a Saturday night. How about some threats used by emsters and abusers? Number one, if you tell anyone that I will hurt you, well, let your kids know that the police and their parents will know how to protect them before the person's... Look, we're speaking to kids here, so I'm going to read this verbatim. But remember, this is speaking to a child. This is what you can tell your children, okay? So they'll say, if you tell anyone, then I will hurt you. And you can say that the police and your parents, us, right? We will know how to protect you before the person has a chance to do anything. How about number two? If you tell your parents or anyone that I will hurt or kill them, well, the person will be arrested before they can even think, and the police will know that you're telling the truth, and they will protect all people involved. You can let your children know that if somebody is hurting them, touching them, doing something, and they made a threat to them that they're going to hurt you or them, that you will make sure that they are protected. They can sleep in your freaking room if it makes them feel better. You will not let anything happen to them for telling what happened. Reassure them of that. Number three of the threats, if any of your friends find out about this, then I will make sure I tell them and everyone that you're lying and that you're just gay or perverted. Now, this does happen. It was all the child's fault, they'll say. Oh, we've heard this from predators, haven't we? Well, the child came on to me. I was just trying to be nice and help them out and teach them piano lessons. And all of a sudden, the child came on to me. They wanted it. Oh, my God. Can we just... I can't say that on YouTube, but yeah, it has to do with the pew pew. Anyway, so you tell the kids that their true friends will believe you and not them. And if they don't, then they're not true friends. The abuser, if he or she thinks you told, isn't going anywhere near other kids, by the way, until they feel the coast is clear. And of course, he or she will be arrested, and that will speak for itself. Trust me, they're not going to go run around and go after your friends or anybody if they believe the police have been called. They're probably going to take off running, and they're going to get as far away from you as possible. But in any case, your parents will keep you safe. Number four, if you tell anyone about this, I will get into trouble. I may lose my family or my job, or I may have to kill myself, and it will be your fault. Kids, how is it your fault for the choice that they make? It's their choice, not yours. Did you make them do the wrong thing? No, you did not. It is on them. Number five, if anyone finds out about this, I will come and kidnap you. Again, the police will get the person before they can do anything. The police deal with this stuff all the time, and they can and will protect you. Let your kids know, hey, you'll be protected no matter what. How about if anyone finds out about this, I will hurt your family pets. Again, your parents will protect your pet after the police have been called. And rounding it out here, we'll say, children, remember something here. If you never will know when the abuser will start to get scared and follow through on one of these threats. It's up to you to tell someone right away of what they did and of the threats they made so that the people who care and love you can take precautions and protect you. Let your kids know this, parents, okay? Like they have... The longer they stay quiet, they don't know that that predator is not going to come out and come through on a threat. Like every day that they don't tell is a chance that that predator will come and do something. They need to speak up so that they can be protected right away. And here's a parental example. If your child's afraid of the family pet being hurt, show that you will keep the pet inside your room if you have to. You won't let them be unsupervised after the police have been called. This will show them that you're taking the steps to protect them. You know, simple things like that. All right. Now, next week, we're going to continue, God willing, part 4 with section 7, which is going to be, look at this. Here we go. This is a discussion that kids need to hear. That S abuse is not always violent, threatened, or physically forced, but it is still wrong and it is still dangerous. Okay? Now listen, because a lot of kids think that stuff that's happening to them is not actually wrong because they're not being, well, they don't think they're being forced to do it, but they kind of are. So that'll be next week. Make sure you tune in for that, for section 7. Man, I'll tell you, that was a lot. There's a lot of information there. If you missed any of it, we do see some people joining late. You can listen to the podcast. It'll be available in about 15 minutes or so. You can find it on X, on Rumble, on YouTube, Facebook, all of our social media platforms. And you can also find it, hopefully in a couple days, you'll find it on our website, protectyourchildren.org, under live shows. Listen, sometimes we're a little slow getting the stuff uploaded on there, but hey, you can go to our social media and check it out. So, but that's going to wrap up our show for tonight. God, parents, be involved, man. Be involved. Be nosy. Be you know, like, man, it doesn't take a lot of work, right? If you can be on your social media, then you can be definitely taking a look at your kids' social media and getting in their phones and seeing who they're talking to randomly. Oh, my kid will think I don't trust them. You can tell them, look, you may think I don't trust you, but protecting you is more important. Give me your phone. That's it. You got to be strong here because these predators are out there coordinating with each other on how to get to your children. And if you don't take the steps to protect them, as the FBI was saying about the girl that was kidnapped, thankfully found, if you don't take the steps to protect them, well, I hate to say it this way, but then it's on you, parents. It's unbelievable. Audrey in the chat says, thanks, bud, sending this all to my daughter who has 4 kids and 3 foster nieces. Yes, please, please, please send this and have them listen because this is so important, this information. There's, you know, it's gotten crazy. It has just gotten so crazy. And this internet stuff has just made life a lot crazier for kids and a lot more dangerous. And when you have tech companies that are not standing up and protecting our kids, like Facebook Threads, we saw that earlier, you know, where there's just predators posting all the freaking time and there's actual kids posting on there too. Yep. Looking for attention and they're getting predators to talk to. This is happening. It does happen. You wouldn't believe it. Like, why would a kid want to reach out to someone who would fool around with them sexually? Well, there's a lot of reasons they would do that. They maybe had previous abuse in their life. Maybe they feel it's the only way to get attention. There's a lot of reasons kids would do it. So, you know, it's happening out there. So please, be proactive, be nosy, and keep an eye on what your kids are doing at all times because these predators they're watching all the time. You got to think about something. We'll close with this. If a predator is following your child on social media and they got notifications turned on, that means every time your child posts something, whether it's a location or an image or a video or just something that they're thinking, the predator is getting that information. And then they're going to turn around and use that information to try to find a way into that child's life, into that child's brain, to build trust with that child. So the child thinks that they're a nice person, that they would never do anything wrong. And the goal is to get them to send pictures or videos, which then they will sextort. Yes, sextortion's a real thing. They will sextort these kids. Or they'll try to meet them in real life, just like the Amber Alert on Wednesday when that young girl went to meet 2 guys in real life and that she thought were not as old as they were and thought they were safe, nice people. And she was talking to them for months and her parents never knew because they didn't check her devices. They better be thanking God that their daughter was found. And now they better be monitoring what she's doing. And I'm sure they are, but it was almost too late. So don't let it be too late, please. Be nosy and do what you have to do. I'm going to finish up tonight by saying, please, if you can help us out, we appreciate that. I'm going to tell you, be honest with you for a minute. Just give me 2 minutes to be honest with you. Nobody here takes a salary. Nobody's got fancy cars. Nobody's out living a lavish lifestyle. Protect Your Children Incorporated is volunteers who work. They work all day. They have their own jobs, their own bills, their own life. But they're taking time out to put these shows together, to run the websites, to do everything that we do. And listen, without your financial support, we can only do so much. Okay, we have 10 live viewers on a show. We get the podcast listens. Maybe they're up to about 100, 150. Now we do split it up into clips, and those clips get a lot of views, which we're thankful for. But listen, with a small donation, with a recurring donation every month, even $5, $10 a month, we can reach thousands of people. Yes, it's that small of an amount, but we can reach thousands. We used to do it when we had financial support. We used to have financial support. And then the economy took a crapper and COVID hit and everything else, and people backed off. Right now we have 2 people that do recurring monthly donations. 2. Okay. One of those amounts covers our banking fees. Okay. Our banking fees every month. So that's gone. Okay. And the other one is, it's enough to do a little bit of advertising, but that's it. We cannot reach tens of thousands of people as we would truly love to do without your help and support. So if you can do something like that and help us out a little bit, tax deductible, greatly appreciated. Visit our website, protectyourchildren.org, click on donate to help us and make a donation today. And your money will be used directly to spread the word and get this education and awareness out to the people who need it. So thank you in advance for that. If you cannot help out, we understand that too. Times are tough. So then please, it doesn't cost anything to like, to retweet, or what do you like, re-X now? Like, you can't say you retweet. Okay, re-X something, and share and talk to people. Okay, do what Audrey AU is doing. She's going to send it to her daughter who's got 4 kids and 3 foster nieces. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Send the information out there. Protect these kids. If predators are coordinating together, then we can coordinate together. That's what we're asking you to do, to partner with us and help us get the information out to as many people as possible so that we can protect more kids by education and awareness. So thank you very much for being here tonight. We appreciate you. God willing, we'll be back next Saturday, 8 p.m. Saturday Night Protection Live with part 4. Part 4, yes. And in the meantime, stay focused on our social media. TikTok, Rumble, Instagram. We even have a Threads. Yeah, we're actually on Threads trying to warn kids as much as we can, and parents for the ones that are paying attention. We're all out there. So follow us, pay attention to us. And we post throughout the week education and awareness. So please check it out. Thank you very much for everybody being here. This can be it for this week. This is Christopher Gellison, your host. And this was Saturday Night Protection Live, hosted by Protect Your Children Incorporated, protectyourchildren.org. Take care. God bless, and keep protecting. Good night.